Universal has officially been given the green light to build their new theme park in the UK. The Special Development Order has been approved by the government, which allows major work to begin this month. But it does come with some stipulations, including milestones that must be hit before the park can open by 2031. Let's discuss all of the details of this special permit, as well as trademarked names for the resort and more in today's news update. On December 16, 2025, a letter from the Ministry of Housing, Communities and Local Government confirmed that planning permission had been granted for Universal's entertainment resort complex at Kempston Hardwicke, Bedford. This Special Development Order, or SDO, will allow the company to start building their site, which an official letter from the government says would include theme parks, visitor accommodation, retail, dining, sports and conference facilities, and associated landscaping and utility infrastructure. Later that day, Universal themselves released a statement through the project's official website. In it, they say, "Today I can share an important update on our plans to bring a new entertainment resort complex featuring a world-class theme park to Bedford. While there are still further steps to complete, including a statutory parliamentary review period, this decision represents another important milestone for the project." Now that they've been granted permission to build, the shell company that was used to purchase the land in Kempston Hardwicke, which is owned by Universal's parent company Comcast, has changed its name. It was originally named the inconspicuous SC Collection Limited, but will now be referred to as UDX Development Company Limited. UDX is the abbreviation for Universal Destinations and Experiences, which is the company's parks division. The company has also filed several new trademarks in the country, which may lend some insight into what the official name for this upcoming resort may be. As of now, an official name for the resort and the theme park has not yet been announced. Applications have been filed with the Intellectual Property Office for the terms Universal United Kingdom Resort and Universal UK Resort. These terms are listed for use within theme parks and entertainment services, as well as all types of products, including clothing, toys, housewares, and much more. One more trademark application, which has since been granted, is for the term Universal Studios Grand Hotel. As the name implies, this term was registered for use in hotel services. This could be the name for the 500-room hotel, which is planned to open along with the UK theme park. It is also the name of an attached hotel that opened with the Universal Studios Beijing theme park. When the Special Development Order was granted in December, the UK government was essentially approving Universal's planning documents. You may remember the hundreds of planning documents that were uploaded publicly back in July of 2025. Those plans were analyzed and scrutinized in the near 6 months that followed by the UK government and the Bedford Borough Council, as well as local residents, businesses, and public bodies. According to a document published online titled Statement of Reasons for the Grant of Planning Permission, the Bedford Borough Council, as well as other local bodies, were supportive of the proposal, which they regarded as transformational for the local economy. Concerns from residents were raised in relation to potential congestion on the local roads, noise both during construction and later during theme park operation, and there were many concerns about the visual impact of such a large and potentially tall development upon the local landscape. The document goes on to address these concerns and many more, showing how the multiple bodies have worked together to carefully examine all of the concerns related to the project. The SDO includes extremely specific ways in which Universal will have to address these concerns when building and operating the new resort. Essentially, everything that Universal proposed back in July have now become requirements they must follow in order to open the new theme park. For example, in the initial proposal, Universal suggested that the theme park and resort could have up to 8.5 million visitors in its first year. So the Special Development Order now requires them to build a theme park and resort which can hold up to 8.5 million visitors before they can officially open. That includes enough ride capacity, hotel rooms, parking, dining, and more that must accommodate that many people over the course of 12 months. The SDO requires at least 500 hotel rooms to be available for grand opening of the resort to take place, another number that was present in the proposal. To get around any requirements that must be met by the grand opening of the resort, Universal could technically open the park early if they call it a soft opening, although the order requires that a soft opening date also be approved by the Secretary of State, and the resort must still meet some minimum requirements before they can apply for that permission to soft open. Operating hours restrictions listed in the SDO line up with Universal's proposed hours, with an opening time no earlier than 7 a.m. and a closing time no later than 11 p.m. except on special event nights. As laid out in the plans, the theme park will be allowed to remain open later on up to 65 occasions per year, until 2 a.m. at the latest. This includes during seasonal events like Halloween Horror Nights, which is not listed specifically by name in the SDO, as well as individual holidays, which are listed in the document. Holidays mentioned include Chinese New Year, 5th of November, the day of Diwali, and the 25th and 31st of December. The document says the resort is not allowed any more than 10 fireworks displays per year. This includes the 5 specific holidays mentioned, as well as up to 5 additional days. Fireworks must not take place outside of the core zone, which is where the main theme park and the first hotel will be located. There are no rules stating how many drone shows can take place at the resort, but similarly, they must be contained within the core zone only. Other pyrotechnics outside of fireworks displays are restricted by the SDO, as well as laser effects. These type of effects are allowed any day of the year and at any time during operating hours, as long as there is no light spill outside of the core zone. These effects must only operate in brief, intermittent bursts. This would be fine for special effects like the explosions utilized in Universal's Waterworld stunt show, for example, as long as the light from it cannot be seen outside of the resort. The proposed maximum height limits for structures within the theme park have all been approved, including a max height for attraction elements like roller coaster track of 115 meters or 377 feet. Work cannot start on future phases of site development in the lake zone, the expansion space located north of the main theme park, until all planned roadways have been completed and are operating. Among the requirements to be met before the theme park resort's grand opening, the SDO mentions that the Wixams train station must be open to the public with scheduled rail services running. Despite this requirement, an option to utilize temporary bus service as an alternative is also mentioned. This would give Universal a backup plan in case the train station is not ready due to reasons outside of their control. The Wixams train station will be built on the east side of Universal's property, which they call the East Gateway Zone. Work started in 2024 on a previously planned 2-platform station, with £28 million already spent. But construction was put on hold last July, so a new, larger 4-platform station could be designed instead. The larger station will better serve the crowds planning to visit the upcoming theme park resort. The project was originally budgeted at £62 million total, but that amount will be re-evaluated before it resumes construction. Looking at the property itself, land preparation had continued in recent months ahead of the project's overall approval for major construction. Thanks to recent views from Project Universal on YouTube, we can see how a small section of ground has been excavated with a pile of rubble nearby. Here we can see some leftover bricks from the old Brickworks factory that used to occupy a portion of the property. Universal has suggested that they may incorporate some of these bricks into the new theme park resort in some way as a way to pay respects to what had come before. A worksite support area has been set up for parking, heavy construction equipment, generators, and materials staging. All of this prep had been taking place while they awaited approvals for the theme park construction so they could possibly hit the ground running once approved. The main site where the theme park will be built, named the Core Zone, has not seen any work as of yet. January 12th will be the date that the SDO takes effect and work can begin here. It is worth keeping in mind that there is a 6-week period where the order can be challenged, so it is possible that Universal may want to wait a few more weeks before starting any major construction just in case. Looking at the official proposed timeline, which was released back in July of last year, we can see that we are in the middle of Phase 1A, Advanced Works. This was described as preparing the site, with things like security fences and security entry checkpoint, which are all in place now, as well as utility installations for temporary worksite buildings and support structures. The next phase, which is on schedule to begin first quarter 2026, will include water drainage and land grading work for the theme park site itself. The latter half of this year will see utility pipe installation for the theme park areas and more. The resort is still on target for a 2031 grand opening at the latest. Despite Universal being tight-lipped about what types of properties and attractions the new theme park will open with, large media outlets like the BBC have not been shy on reporting on rumors for the park. The BBC continues to report that they expect attractions based on James Bond, Paddington, and The Lord of the Rings to be included in the theme park when it opens in 5 or so years. The Sun recently reported that the new theme park will in fact contain Harry Potter-themed attractions, despite early rumors that the park would not feature any. The officially released concept art does not seem to include any Harry Potter-related iconography, but this recent reporting by The Sun seems to suggest that this would have been a recent contract negotiation for the rights, which could explain its earlier omission from the key art, if this is true. Rumors among theme park fan sites and forums continue to suggest that while some properties we see represented in Orlando will be present at the UK park, the rides within those themed lands may end up being original. For example, what fans believe look to be areas based on Jurassic World and Minions are visible in the official concept art, but perhaps the attractions contained within them would be original to this park. Attractions based on Back to the Future, Jaws, as well as the classic Waterworld stunt show appear to be represented in the art as well, at least according to fan theories. Many are wondering if we will see an updated version of official concept art in the coming weeks, now that the project has officially been approved for major work to begin. We will continue to update you on major milestones as they happen in the coming years, so stay tuned to the channel. For a full breakdown of Universal's detailed theme park proposal, see our last video on the topic. And if you like what we do, consider supporting Theme Park Stop on Patreon for exclusive posts, permit breakdowns, and more. Patreon.com/themeparkstop. Thanks for watching. See you next time.